Hello viewers, it's Super GT here. Welcome to a new week and therefore a new league in the ESL Forza Racing Championship. So we're driving the Formula Ford cars now around Brands Hatch. This is my very first race in the league. I have driven the car in the Rivals event before this race, but by the looks of it, not many other people have. Lots of people getting tangled up. Obviously we have open wheels on these cars, which pretty much amplifies all of the issues you have on turn 1. Everyone getting tangled up with each other, and it's just causing an absolute mess into the first couple of turns. Now my main priority around this race, especially as it's my first one and most of other people's first one, is just to try and get around as cleanly as possible, to try to avoid all of the chaos and insanity that we are accustomed to online. That guy's just going to turn in way too early. I've noticed that quite a lot of people are doing that. This car really does turn in very well. It's actually got really good front end. It does like to oversteer though, so especially for those without traction control. I'm not using traction control in this race or in this video at all, but I think from what I can tell on the leaderboards anyway, I think traction control on might be quicker in this car, but it is kind of 50-50. So moving forward, we're on lap number 2 in 8th position. This guy's going to go very narrow, just going to try to go around his outside, but just run myself off of the circuit. He's going to regain the position. Now you can see there I've turned on the braking line. Now this is just something that's been recommended to me by quite a lot of actually really good drivers. So I know that actually I think Raceboy uses the braking line. Attacks Johnson uses it as well. It's not, they're not overly relying on it. It's just a rough guideline of roughly where to brake. I wouldn't trust it in terms of racing line itself, but just roughly where to brake, especially when you're using different cars. But coming into the first turn, looking up the inside, this guy, I gave him so much time. I was very patient with overtaking him, giving him about a lap before I actually forced the pass. And then as we crossed the line onto lap 4, I managed to catch up with a couple of guys just up ahead. So we're in 7th. This guy is going to drift very wide over the curb on the exit of turn 1, and I'm through into my favourite position. But we're going to look to see if we can gain a couple more here. We do have 2 just ahead of us, and then 1 a little further ahead. Hopefully we can gain another one of these positions before the end of the race. Now the pack's actually spread out a decent amount, but not too much. The races, I think, are still a little on the short side, so everyone pretty much goes all guns blazing on the first lap, or first corner should I say, and it's of course rolling starts, which always makes it very interesting. I still don't think the rolling starts are actually perfectly even, so sometimes your car won't go as quickly as someone next to you or in front of you or behind you. It is quite strange. Sometimes you get a better run on someone else without really doing anything. But as we approach the uphill right hand, a very tricky corner, as it proves, that guy is going to go straight off the track and hand me 5th position and another 100 points to my league total. So you get another 100 points per position that you gain, I believe that's how it works, although I don't know exactly the ins and outs of the league structure. But basically the more people you beat, the more points you are going to get. That is the general gist of the league points system. So there we go, crossing the line in 5th overall. Not too bad for my first race. I started quite a way down the order as well. So moving to another race. Now not all of the races were that clean. The first lap of that Brands Hatch race wasn't too bad on the whole. So going off the line here, as you can see, I get a decent run on the people on the right hand side. That is the unevenness of the rolling start. But into the first turn, we've just got a massive haze of smoke. We just cannot see anything. The cars ahead have just deployed smoke screen and made it hard for us at the back here. And again, another smoke screen has been deployed, and I'm just trying to slow down as much as I can, but I just cannot see through this thick smoke. I'm just making contact with a couple of guys on the way through. I think that is the best approach though. If you see smoke or you see trouble ahead, just slow down slightly to try to navigate your way through. The problem is with that people behind you don't always do the same thing, and then you get slammed into from behind. Now I had to actually go and have something to eat here, so I just gave up because I had damage and I couldn't be bothered to go all the way around, go to the pit lane and then carry on. So I gave up with that one. Yas Marina, can we have a better race around here? I doubt it, but we'll have a look here. Let's see how it goes. So 9th on the grid, on the inside line, into the first turn. Get on the brakes. Okay here, a lot of contact, just trying to maintain my line. A couple of guys ahead just get tagged, and then all chaos ensues. And then I am being pinged around like a shuttlecock in badminton, and that is the end of my race there. As you can see, my car's bouncing around like a bouncy castle. I don't really have any handling left. I could try to get around and go into the pits once again, but that's really not how I enjoy myself playing this game. So we're just going to back out of that one. Now for Prague, let's see if I can have a bit of a better race here. Go for an orange paint job. Maybe the paint job could give me a better race, I don't know. Let's see. As we go into turn 1, TUS Force 1 just up ahead. A very fast driver he is. Almost go flying to the back of him. Just managed to get on the brakes just in time. Coming through in 6th position. Now you can see how horrible the braking line is here, telling you not to go over the curbs, which is obviously very wrong indeed. Now through the second chicane, Force 1 just going to graze the inside of the barrier, and he's going to go flying into the wall. I gained 2 positions out of that, the guy there just having to back out of his momentum. And I'm going to gain 1 more position into the long right-hander. It's very close up the front here. You are going to get very close racing with this, with these cars. When you've got good handling, well, on the whole the handling's good. The racing is going to be very, very close. Probably even closer than the Mustang League from last week. I'll make a massive mistake here. Go on the accelerator too early, and then get into a big drift, and then it causes all of that. Now that, I mean, I don't know what to say about that. I didn't mean to do that, of course. We're just going to say racing incident on that one. And then skipping to the start of lap 3. A couple of people pit, and this guy comes out straight ahead of me. Wasn't quite sure which side to go. And then I get overtaken by GP Mikey here. This guy was really, really fast. Absolutely rapid in this league. So we're going to try and follow him through here. And it develops into a really interesting situation here where we have the 4 first drivers, so 1, 2, 3 and 4. That guy is a back marker, he's just going to go flying off. But as I was saying, we have the top 4 drivers of the race with a back marker as well, just thrown in for good measure, of course. It's always going to make it more interesting. The back marker was actually really fast, but I kind of wish he would have got out of the way so that we could have battled properly. But it's going to make it very interesting as we go into turn 1. GP's on my inside, so he's got the line there. I'm going to give him the position. I could go for a cutback here, but you're just asking for trouble when you're going side by side into this section. Just not worth it. Follow the faster driver through, and then we can get through together very quickly, as we can see here. And then coming through onto the bridge, going to get in the slipstream. But again, just waiting and going to be very patient here. Just trying to wait for something to happen. When cars are this close to each other, you might as well just wait for something to happen. It is bound to happen. Plus I do have a bit of a gap behind me to 5th, so I have got plenty of time to spare here, probably a couple of seconds in the bag, which I can just use for free. This LMP statistic goes a little bit too narrow, and he's going to lose momentum on the exit through into 3rd. I'm on a podium now, so here the back marker actually unlaps himself, and probably imagining himself at the lead of the race. Of course he's not, but he likes to think he is, I guess. But he is actually really quick from this evidence here as he unlaps himself and actually stays ahead. As we go through the chicane section, GP goes through into the lead, and I just go into the back of the guy in 2nd there. Statistic goes into the back of me. I just had my car positioned in exactly the right position. Unlucky for him, he could not make the most of my error there. And then in the end, finishing 3rd on lap 5, not too bad. Decent points haul there. So we move to the final clip of the video around Hockenheim. This is going to be carnage into turn 1. It always is around here. So coming in, we've just got someone going flying across, cutting the track there, and he's just going to cause all of this carnage. Someone rejoining on my left hand side. I have to move over, almost caused another accident by moving across there. Luckily we didn't. Into the 2nd turn, going very deep. but then cutting back. Just going to give this guy ahead there the room so he can take the position ahead of me. And then into the hairpin, we're going to have our usual chaos. Actually, it's not too bad. The guy on the inside got slowed down there, so I'm going to go around the outside to gain 9th position, and then further around the race, start of lap number 2, going to go wide on the exit there, and then this guy's going to rejoin on my left hand side. I'm just going to get back in behind, lost a position through there, but just trying to play it safe, make sure we don't spin out here. Being passed on the inside and the outside, but I just managed to squeeze through to maintain position. Then it all kicks off here. Look at this, about 5 or 6 guys in a massive orgy of terror as we come through the midsection of Hockenheim. And I'm going to gain out of all of this, coming through into 4th position, so a decent haul of positions gained there as everyone is too busy touching each other up. So I'm up into 4th as we come into the left-hander of the stadium section. Go a little bit wide, U-type git, tries to get up my inside but it doesn't quite manage it. Then at the start of lap number 3, beyond halfway mark now, I get around on the Australian guy, go to the inside, and then I have got the line now for turn number 2. Get on the brakes just in time, although I do go a little deep, and then I'm just going to get tagged from behind, not once but twice, into U-type git, and then I'm off, and that is game over pretty much. Tried to rejoin here, but just no room to come back on. Then unfortunately I just get tagged. Probably should have been waiting a little further away from the track. But that is pretty much going to bring a close to the video on a sour note there. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. Let me know your thoughts on this video, on all the races, and on the league itself. Let me know your thoughts and your experiences. So thank you very much for watching this one, guys. Subscribe for more, hit the like button, and I hope to see you in my next one. Goodbye.